Boxing King Media in association with Boxer. With me, the realist Viddal, Riley Viddal. Good to see you back in your call again. Firstly, how are you keeping?
Feels good to be back in your call. I feel good, man. I feel ready. I'm getting more and more comfortable, more and more confident, more and more experienced, and I'm feeling it now. You know, this ain't my first, second, third, fourth public workout with Sky. I've done so many now, so it's good to see my face bigger on the posters. Because before I used to have to tell my mum to do zoom in 2.5, but now we got a picture that's worth size. So I'm just happy to see the growth and the level up.
Let's go back. Last time we were here, Anis Taj was the victim, was the opponent. You didn't have to take that rematch, but you took that rematch. What did you kind of learn from that in terms of, because there was the public demand, there was people saying, we want to see it again, it was a cut, it was a bad cut, but what did you learn about yourself in taking that rematch?
I learned that. I just learned, my confidence just went up. Do you know what I mean? Because the round where he hit me with his best punch, I finished him that round. And I think I just had to do that rematch because people were calling for it. Anis was calling for it. He didn't think that, you know, the first win was satisfying enough. So I had to put a stamp on it, and it was just good to be in there, good to be in the atmosphere and get the finish that I did. I think it's one of my most impressive finishes, and I'm just looking to build off that.
Before we talk about the fight on Saturday, just obviously your link up with 258 management, Viddal. I've got to ask you, you're a commodity, you've built yourself your own brand. Just explain teaming up with them and how that came about and why.
Well, one of the things you said is the main thing. I didn't want to sign with them without having my own following, without having my own platform, something to bring to the table. I feel like it feels more like a collaboration now rather than this is our new guy and we're bringing him through and no one knows him but trust us. Now people know, you know, I've established myself in a certain way. So I feel like this was just a partnership that was needed to level up and just to open certain doors, especially branding-wise, and just becoming more of a household name. So, you know, I'm excited to work with the team. It's obviously a new partnership, but so far so good, and everything looks great.
I asked this question to Callum Simpson earlier as well. How important is it in today's day and age where, as a fighter, you can't just be a great fighter and a good fighter, but you got to talk the talk. Yeah. You got to be a brand, and we're not going to talk about misfits today, but you know, people talk about them a lot, but is it important for fighters to be able to articulate themselves well as well?
Yeah. No, you know what? I just think people forget there's a lot going on in the world right now. It's not a simple world like it once was, where there's a few sports that are televised. It's crazy. You got apps showing all sports. You know what I mean? And what makes boxing stand out? What's going to make boxing stand out amongst the rest? It's the personalities. It's connecting with the fighters, connecting with their characters. And I think you have to give people the opportunity to do that, to allow boxing to stay in that peak sport zone, you know what I mean? And without that, it's just going to go under the carpet.
Saturday night, first title, the English title. Is it? You know, I remember speaking to you a couple of years ago, actually during lockdown, where you said you were doing things your own way. Do you remember when you were in America? Has that slightly changed? Is it now you want to go down the traditional route? Nothing wrong with it, but is that the purpose?
I think the traditional way is still my way, you know, that's still the way I want to do things. The moment that I came back to the UK, I understand the path that I wanted to take in order to make sure I'm the best for each level. And I feel like the English title was the first title to pick up, to then progress on and move on further. So I'm doing exactly what I want to do. I'm exactly where I need to be, and I can feel that it's my wave, so I'm just going to ride the wave.
I just want to go back to last week, Joyce Zhang, devastating knockout. A lot of criticism coming towards Joyce. Are people too harsh when a fighter loses, no matter the age? But you know, Tony Belly made some comments that he's at British level at most, and Fabio Wardy would beat him now. How do fighters react when other pundits and other fighters talk like that about you?
You know what it is, boxing it's a true thing. You're only as good as your last performance. So no matter what you've achieved, no matter who you've beaten, if your last performance is terrible, then that's how people rank you, that's how people judge you. I don't get too caught up in all that though, man. It's all opinions, and it's not facts. If Joyce wants to reinvent himself, come back and be a better fighter, he can do that. Getting involved with what everyone else is saying is a sure way to keep you down. So I don't even invest in all that, man. At the end of the day, he's a great fighter, he's a good fighter. He's proven that over the years he's been in the game. He made a mistake, he paid for it. He's got to change some things, and he can be back if he wants.
Just final one for me before you got to go. Next week, Tyson Fury takes on Francis Ngannou. I just want to show you a clip quickly. Not sure if you've seen it, from Mike Tyson showing a combination punch to Francis. If you want to play it.
Oh, I see this. Yeah, I see that. I mean, Ngannou's got a puncher's chance at best. You know, he's not going to go in there and display boxing skill that's going to outdo Tyson Fury. But one thing he does have is a one-hitter quitter. And if he lands one of those shots he was landing on the pads, he could knock Tyson's head off. But I don't think so. I think he's going to get picked, poked, outboxed. He probably will gas out, you know, missing big punches. And Tyson will have a nice cruising victory. Unless he's in that mode where he wants to be macho and go toe-to-toe, get up off the ground. I think sometimes Tyson chooses that fight. But I wouldn't choose that with Ngannou personally, so I think he's just going to outbox and move around.
Viddal, we wish you all the best on Saturday night, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you after the fight.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.